Congratulations, you just finished up the very first ever JFL Northwest Awards, was it?
Yes. Yeah, there was the Vancouver Comedy Awards presented by JFL Northwest.
Okay, so how does that work? Why is this the first ever? They just were like, hey, wait a minute, we're really funny, let's hand out awards?
Let's have a little award show. And then it was fun. There was some ridiculous awards, like most likely to ask for a pen, and then all the way up to like, you know, best dressed, best joke, all that stuff.
And which ones did you win?
I won best comedian to road gig with.
Okay, that's a good one. That's complimentary.
Yeah, because I always insist on driving. And I pay for gas, I guess. And then I also won Best Album, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
For my comedy album that came out last year.
And that's the one that's nominated for a Juno as well.
Yes, it is.
I Wanted to Be a Dinosaur?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. We're going to talk about the Junos in just a little bit, but first I kind of wanted to talk about just, I think a lot of people find it fascinating, the life of a stand-up comedian. How did it start? At what point in your life were you like, this is definitely what I want to do?
I don't know. I think it started, like, I knew I definitely wanted to do it as soon as I did it for the first time and it went, like, okay. Like, the first time you do comedy in a room and you get those laughs back from people, strangers, you're just like, okay, well, now I have to do this.
I am not wearing the right pants for that!
And that's kind of what I did. But I started out in theater in high school. My high school had a really good theater program. And so I really liked performing, the aspect of performing. But just like being in a play just wasn't quite enough attention for me. Because there's too many other people taking credit. I want it to just be me. And so I heard about this thing called stand-up comedy where it's just one person. And I said, that's for me. Get me out there alone.
Why do we have so many coins? It's so weird. We had bills in the 80s when I was a kid. There was a $2 bill. It had a bird on it. It was wonderful. I've heard legends of a $1 bill at one point.
Conan. Let's talk about Conan.
Yeah, that was a pretty insane experience.
How did that all come to be? Because I feel like the stories, everyone's just like, yeah, it's the guy who was on Conan.
Yeah.
But how did you end up on Conan?
I got there through the people who booked Conan saw me at Just for Laughs in Montreal to begin with, and then they also saw me here at the Just for Laughs Northwest Festival like a few years later, and they I think I had a really good set. I was opening for John Mulaney. And that crowd was just so perfect because he and I have a pretty similar style of comedy, and so the crowd was just really hyped and they were so excited, and I had a really good set. I don't know, I picked the right material that night, and so they kind of came up to me after the show and they were like, hey, if you'd like to submit a tape, like just record yourself doing your best 5 minutes and then send it to us and then we'll review it, and if we like it, we can try to book you on the show. But you also need an American Social Security number and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, let me get on that. And so that took 3 years. And then once I had the proper paperwork in order, I kind of sent them an email being like, hey, remember me? I talked to you a while ago. And they were like, oh yeah, send us a tape again. So then I sent a tape. And then they booked me for a showcase in New York. I had to fly to New York and get on this show with, like, there were 12 comics that were all kind of prospects for Conan. It was the Comics to Watch showcase at the New York Comedy Festival.
You were the only Canadian, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the only Canadian on that, and then I had a pretty good set there, and then they booked me for Conan like a week later.
Like, I would never classify myself as a runner. I'm still at jogger status. I'd like to upgrade. I don't know how it happens. I know that you don't want to be a jogger, though, because everything bad in the news always happens to a jogger. Turn on the news, a tree fell over on a jogger today. Any runners hurt? No, they ran out of the way.
This is your first Juno nomination, correct?
Yeah, of course. It's the first comedy.
Album.
Comedy hasn't been at the Juno Awards since 1982.
What?
Yeah, they just brought back Comedy Album of the Year. It was never a category.
Wow.
The last people that won it were Bob and Doug McKenzie.
We'll tell you right now that we sold even more than that, because like we ran off about 100 copies in our basement and sold them out too.
Just cassettes, eh? We're not into vinyl, eh? That's not our bag.
Oh my God.
In like, yeah, I think 82 or 83. So it's the first time in like 33 or 32 years that...
I had always just assumed, because Junos to me are like a poor man's Grammys, and Grammys have always had their comedy category, and so I just figured that Canada would be like us too.
Yeah.
But no.
No, they
until
brought
now.
it back, and it was a campaign by the people at the Sirius XM in Canada, Ben Miner and that crew, and then also a couple of comedians, Graham Clark specifically, Mark Forward. They kind of started this push online and really campaigned to bring the Junos back, and so I'm very thankful to them for doing that, because it has now brought so much attention to those of us that have been nominated. It's very cool to kind of be, and it's a huge honor to be like one of the first 5 in that long, you know.
Is it scary too, though? Like knowing that they're like, all right, we'll bring back the comedy category. And
Yeah.
then, like, what if you just completely blow chunks and you know, you're homeless 3 weeks later and it's like, what was the point?
Sure, yeah, that's how I live my whole life, though. I feel like that about every show. I'm 2 bad sets away from sleeping at a bus station.
That's scary. Do you know the other nominees well, or are they like?
I do, yeah. They're all friends of mine, people that I've worked with at various festivals or on shows like The Debaters. Like, they're all great. Everybody's hilarious. So I think that anybody could walk away with it.
People are gonna come up to you on the street and be like, "What's wrong with that part of your eye, ma'am? You look so tired." You're gonna be like, "Shut up! I had to pay for my own salad."
All right. Well, we are excited for that, and I guess good luck at the Junos.
Thank you so much.
We're rooting for you, unless
Yeah.
we bring someone else in for an interview, and then we're rooting for them as
Yeah,
well. So.
sure. You know what?
For
I just
today,
want
we're
everybody
rooting
to be happy. I'm just happy to be a part of something.
There you go. Thanks, Ivan.
Thank you.